The Democratic and Republican leaders in the Senate are pushing to fast-track the debt ceiling legislation that passed overwhelmingly in the House last night with bipartisan support. ABC's Em Nguyen has you covered from Washington.
The U.S. Senate is racing against time to approve the House-passed bill President Joe Biden and Speaker Kevin McCarthy negotiated to raise the debt ceiling. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has projected a June 5th deadline for the nation to run out of money to pay its bills, which would likely result in a disaster for the U.S. and global economies.
No good reason to bring this process down to the wire.
In a rare show of unity on Capitol Hill, both Senate leaders are urging their members to promptly pass the bill that would avert the current debt ceiling crisis and suspend the borrowing cap until January 2025.
The Senate cannot afford to neglect its obligation to America's men and women in uniform.
Any senator can slow passage of this bill, and already some have proposed amendments. While some progressive members oppose the added work requirements for food stamp recipients aged 50 to 54.
This debt ceiling agreement will cut programs for some of the most vulnerable people in America.
Some conservative Republicans are demanding more defense spending.
We'll be here to Tuesday until I get commitments that we're going to rectify some of these problems.
Yeas are 314, the nays are 117.
Speaker McCarthy and his Democratic counterpart hailing the overwhelming passage of the compromise bill in the House, despite dozens of their members voting no.
This is the biggest cut and savings this Congress has ever voted for.
We had an obligation, a responsibility to avoid a catastrophic default.
Senate leadership wants to pass this debt ceiling bill either today or tomorrow, and President Biden has vowed to sign it immediately to avert a potentially catastrophic default. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.